if you are a smoker or a vapor, I need you to listen. So I'm Tiffany, I'm a physician assistant, but also GLP-1 advocate. So I talk a lot about health and wellness on my channel, but I've got some really important things that I want you to hear today. And if you're seeing this video on your FYP, then you're meant to see this. So stick around. So quitting smoking or vaping is one of the best things you can do for your body. And I think everybody knows that, but it is so much harder than everybody thinks. But helping people quit smoking is one of my passions. And so I want to tell you a little bit about what you need to hear if you are thinking about quitting smoking or thinking about giving up vaping. This is super important. So let's talk about the timeline of what happens when you lay down cigarettes or vapes. So literally 20 minutes after your last cigarette, your heart rate and your blood pressure drop down to more normal levels. 12 hours after your last cigarette, your carbon monoxide levels go down and your oxygen levels rise back up in your bloodstream. Anywhere from 2 to 12 weeks after your last cigarette, your overall circulation has already improved and your lung function goes up a whopping 30%. At 1 year after you quit smoking, your risk of a heart attack is already cut in half. So that's amazing. At 5 years after you quit smoking, your risk of a stroke is cut in half. In 10 years after you quit smoking, your risk of dying from lung cancer goes down by half. So the point of this is to say that the changes literally start immediately, but your body does continue to heal months and even years after you lay down the tobacco. But let's be real, quitting is so tough because your body goes through withdrawal. So here's what you can expect when you start to quit. Within the first 1 to 3 weeks, they're going to be hard because you're going to have the cravings and the irritability, and almost everybody across the board reports that. Lots of people come back to me and say they start coughing a lot after they quit smoking, and it always concerns them, but this is actually a good thing. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And then the dreaded weight gain. Almost everybody who quits smoking ends up gaining some weight because they're giving up nicotine and that affects your metabolism. And then also because your taste buds start coming back to life, you can taste food again. So let's get back to the cough. So about 3 to 4 months after you quit smoking, your body has these little hairs that live down in your lungs. Now, if you've been a regular smoker, those hairs are kind of wilted and they're unable to clean your lungs out on a regular basis. But if 3 or 4 months go by and you've quit smoking, those hairs will perk back up and start cleaning your lungs back out. And people will start coughing up the nastiest stuff out of their lungs. So you will notice increased cough and mucus production. That is actually a good thing. That is our sign that your lungs are starting to clean themselves. So this happens 3 to 4 months after you quit smoking. It is nothing to be concerned about, but it usually gets brought up when people have quit. So there's been a lot of studies recently about GLP-1 drugs, how these might factor in. So we know that GLP-1s can be helpful in helping reduce cravings for cigarettes. So we know that this is because of the way that GLP-1s work on your brain and the reward system in your brain. We also know people who take GLP-1s are less likely to snack, but they're also less likely to reach for a cigarette. Now, because GLP-1s can help support weight management, this might be a good option to talk to with your provider if you are very worried about gaining the weight when you try to quit smoking. The average person who quits can gain anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds, so this might be something to think about. Now, while GLP-1s are not approved as a quit smoking drug, I have seen them help people stay focused on their health long enough to help them break free of nicotine. So if you've been thinking about quitting, no time is the perfect time, but today is always the best day. So share this video with someone that you love that is smoking or vaping so that they can start thinking about it. Or maybe if they've already been thinking about it, maybe they'll think about it more, because at the end of the day, I just want everyone to be healthy and happy.